already. Is it all right? Is it passed?
With nothing, not a scratch on it.
How's that even possible?
I can't stop winning, can
Sound like Trump.
I?
I think Eddie Howe as well has gone full-blown LinkedIn starter finisher Jake Humphreys performance podcast. He's gone too far with it all now with his starters and finishers things.
Are they going to outsource? Fuck me.
That was connection.
Hello and welcome back to the Tips Don't Lie here with the numbers game, and I'm so excited for Game Week 6 because we're coming off the back of some hot wins in Game Week 5. But not only have we won, but our listeners have won as well. Sam, do you want to talk us through one member who won a huge amount this week just following the algorithm's picks?
Oh, yeah, mate. We get sent in these all the time, but this one particularly impressed me. Jack McFarlane on Instagram, right? He sent me 2 picks that he followed the algorithm for. Firstly, it was a little bet builder. So we had Liverpool win. Obviously, that's an obvious one. But then both teams to score, which he looked at their algorithm for. Ryan Gravenberch to commit 1 or more fouls. And Alexander Sorloth 1 or more shots on target. So both of those were from the goals and shots tab. And he's put 40 quid on it. He's netted 430 quid.
Wow.
And then in the next one, he's put 50 quid on and netted 323 quid. And that was just an ACCA following the numbers game favourite. So Liverpool, Bayern Munich, PSG, Inter Milan with a 7.5% ACCA boost as well. So the boy there has netted himself near enough 800 quid. So I said to him, you've just paid for your annual membership. He's paid for 8 years worth of numbers game
Wow.
in 2 bets. So that's how easy it can be using the website, honestly, especially Champions League. Wow.
And in terms of it, everything that we talk about today is obviously the Premier League, and that's free on the website. You could be winning big with a free membership there. All you have to do is sign up, give it your email, your details, and then you'll be with us for the rest of the season. And also you can sign up in terms of our YouTube as well. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit a like and share the video as well, because we want to share our winnings here too. But let's get on to our winnings as well. You know, we wanted to blow the trumpet of our members there, but let's blow our own trumpets now. So Sam, Ollie, how did you both do?
Well, just to say, if I could blow my own trumpet, I probably wouldn't leave the house. However, so I had a big win. I had Club Brugge, the boys. Oh my God, it looked like a shock result to anyone else. But if you've tuned in to Tips Don't Lie, you will know that I was touting them before it. You boys were doubtful as well. What were they, 3-0 up at half time? So that netted me 20 quid in the Tips Don't Lie. And the table is looking naughty now. And I'm in the lead, boys. I'm topping the table.
I know, mate. I know. I've slipped away. I went on a hot streak and I've fallen off in the last couple of weeks. I was so close this week. I mean, I needed Leeds Wolves under 4, and obviously Leeds scored. Leeds ended up winning 3-1 away at Wolves, which is a great result for them. But not for me. And the other one I had was Arsenal, cost me my other one. I genuinely thought Arsenal would beat City. I've been really impressed with them.
Yeah, so my banker this weekend was the Palace win. So I had them to win. They were good value. That came in. That netted me £11, which covered the stake because that was the banker. My long shot, which was draw or Leeds, again, good value. That came in.
I remember this.
And then I had both teams to score in the Brighton game. And then Chelsea let me down at Old Trafford with that sending off, man.
I did warn you.
It was bittersweet because obviously I'm a United fan, so I was buzzing either way. As soon as I knew that was the last thing I needed to come in, I was happy because I'd be happy either way.
Yeah, Chelsea are a dodgy side, man. Like I don't think I wouldn't rely on them for anything. So
What about if it was 11 versus 11?
I still think United would have won that game.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it was proof that Ruben Amorim's system works.
What, against 10 men?
All you need is 10, 20 minutes against one less man. And it doesn't matter if you've got no midfield.
I think if Cole Palmer would have stayed on the pitch as well, it could have been different because I think he's the difference maker, really, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, can I just say one more thing on Maresca before we move on? Because I don't want to talk about him any more than I already have.
Top 5 Ballon d'Or candidate, by the way.
I have to say that that was the worst substitution performance I've ever seen from a manager in my life. He completely lost his head after the red card and just took all of his attacking players off, took all of his counter-attacking threat off. It was bizarre, just one after another as well. He sort of took one off as well, then 2 minutes later took another one off, wasting his substitute windows when he could have just took multiple players off at once. It was just bizarre. And I think from about the 35th minute, you were looking at that Chelsea side thinking, João Pedro is going to have to counter-attack on his own. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
So I think that he sort of threw the game away.
Looked even worse when it went 10 versus 10.
Yeah. I just couldn't understand it, and I think we've seen from Maresca now that I don't think he's a manager who's going to win anything for Chelsea personally.
Just in terms of bet wins as well, I did have a bet that covered my stakes last week as well. So it was Burnley or draw or Leeds, draw or Crystal Palace and Arsenal or draw. It was the kind of scumbag tactics, but it did rake me in £13 from a
Nice.
stake of £3. So that's actually a really good bet in terms of
Yeah,
it. It's like
Better than a
3-1
kick
there.
in the dick.
mate, it's a very good return. That I can't have a bad word to say about that.
So let's go into it then with game week 6. And I found this one quite hard to make some of the choices. There's a lot of tight games there again. And I think the other thing is it's still early season. Some data trends are still coming to the fore. But let's go into our bets then. Sam, because you're top of the table, do you want to start us off?
Hell yes. You can say that. Get used to saying that. So we've got nice, easy banker to start off, right? Chelsea, Brighton, both teams to score, and a Spurs win. Look, Chelsea, Brighton, both teams score 59% according to the algorithm. That is one of the highest of the weekend. It's landed, as in both teams to score has, in 4 out of 5 of Chelsea's most recent matches, 3 out of 5 of Brighton's most recent matches. However, the 2 that it didn't land were against lower league opposition, so that doesn't even count for me. And then we've got Wolves against Spurs, where Spurs are at home. Wolves are probably the worst team in the Premier League at the moment. They've not kept a clean sheet all season, so therefore, what, you're relying on Wolves to outscore Spurs here? It's not going to happen. Are they going to outsource? Fuck me.
That was connection, that.
I'm
Fucking hell.
rocked.
Yeah, are you going to be relying on Wolves to outscore Spurs when...
Do you want me to?
Right, let me start again from the top. Wolves have not kept a clean sheet all season. So if you're wanting Wolves to get anything from this game, you're relying on them outscoring Spurs when they're scoring 0.88 goals per game on average and conceding over 2 goals per game on average. Not going to happen. So Spurs to win, Brighton, Chelsea, both teams to score. That is the banker for me. £5 on that returns £11.79. That is covering the stake ahead of this long shot. So you've got the long shot to play with. Green sprouts from everywhere. My bet slips, man. Bet365 is quaking in its boots at the moment. I've never seen that much dough in my account. Anyway, the long shot here is Foden to score any time against Burnley. Do you know why I like this? Because first of all, the obvious thing is I think City could spank Burnley, but also I can see them. They'll be camping in the box, won't they? Occupying Haaland. That frees up a little bit of room for one of Foden's bangers. You can easily see it, can't you? Foden, bit of room on the outside of the box, curling one into the far corner. If not, I could just see them being occupied with Haaland and Foden nicking a goal. And I'm also backing Arsenal to win. They're going to rock up to St. James's Park and spank those Geordie boys all over the park. Arsenal are the best team in the league at the moment.
Wow.
Newcastle are shook still. Just because, oh, man, I'm striking left. Get over it, man.
I love it.
So the double is long shot, Foden to score, Arsenal to win. And I'm putting the rest of my money on that. So £5 on that returns 25 quid or £24.34 to be precise. What do you think, boys?
Well, you've not left me much to go at here because I've got a feeling all of our picks are quite similar. But I've got to say I like it. The only thing that I would be a little bit concerned about is the Foden pick, just because I don't know. It's one of them where the promoted sides have done quite well this season. They've looked all right defensively.
Burnley have conceded 2.2 XG per game on average, and they're playing a team that is just starting to go up in gear. Apart from the fact that they decided to go all Jose Mourinho against Arsenal.
Yeah. No, look, it's all right. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I'm not a Foden stan like you are, so I prefer to keep it simple, as you'll see in a little bit. But
that's the highest praise you've ever given me. I don't hate it.
I think building upon that, I quite like it apart from the Arsenal pick, which is unlike me.
What?
Wow.
Jason McKenna.
Whoa.
I'm not backing the boys to win at St. James's Park. I just don't see it.
Wow.
Newcastle have been really, really solid at the back this season, and they're proper kind of scumbag in it so far because of everything that you said there, Sam. They're proper shook without having Isak there. Visa's out. Voltemerde is not the kind of striker that you really want in the Premier League. He's more like a backup, so they're relying on him. Yeah, I think they're gonna scum it out for a 0-0 draw. That's what I see happening, or they might even nick it. All it takes is one slip up, and I think that Newcastle are more likely to keep a clean sheet than Arsenal this weekend, which sounds mad to say, and hopefully I'm wrong as an Arsenal fan, but that's the only bit that I don't like.
Wow, that is wild. I do agree it's going to be a stinky game, but I think I just don't see Newcastle having enough to trouble Arsenal's defence. I think going forward they've looked really poor, apart from the game in the Champions League where Langer and Gordon played.
But
But
that was because they were game as. Like, there's
yeah,
something to be said for the psychology of that. They just came out the traps. And if you're gonna, this is kind of going a little bit off topic, but if you're gonna win a game like that against Barcelona, you have to make what you can from that like 10 minutes where you're high
yeah.
energy. If you're not getting a goal in those 10 minutes, as we saw, you're gonna end up with egg on your face because you can come out the blocks, but you have to convert because if you do that, you're just gonna run out of energy. And then you're
Yeah,
playing against Barca with tired legs.
I think Eddie Howe as well has gone full blown LinkedIn starter finisher Jake Humphreys performance podcast. He's gone too far with it all now with his starters and finishers things. Like I get it, like you want Alanga against tired legs, you want Gordon coming on against tired legs, but just play your best players, man. Like why does he keep messing with the team every week? 4 at the back one week, 5 at the back the next week. Like if Eddie Howe plays his best players for 20 minutes at the end against the best defence in the world, where Newcastle have the ball for about 4 minutes of that. Yeah, are they going to score? Not for me.
I'm just going to say it. Newcastle are our bogey team. You know,
Yeah,
they've won 4 of the last 6 games that are not one of those preseason nothing matters kind of games. They've got they know how to play against us, and
but
so
that was Isak who was tearing Saliba and Gabriel a new one every time you played against them. He was the one who made them both look like clowns. And
yeah.
as Newcastle fans are well aware, he's no longer there anymore.
Let's go on to your picks then, Ollie.
Yep.
What are your ones for game week 6?
Yeah, so I'm not going to spend too long on this because I think we're all going to have similar picks. But I've gone for I want to get points back on the board. As we all know, I've had a couple of poor weeks now, so I'm going back to type. I'm going with a banker that covers the stake, and I'm going for a bit more of a long shot, but nothing too crazy. So the banker is City to beat Burnley, Holland to have 2+ shots on target. He's averaged 2 shots on target per game so far this season. His XG numbers are insane. He's got like 7 XG in 5 games or something ridiculous. He looks absolutely hungry for goals this season, and I think he'll get them this weekend. And I've also gone with Spurs win. Sam touched on it earlier, but they are the second highest percentage prediction team to win this weekend behind Man City in the Premier League. And I just don't see a world where Wolves get anything. They've been so poor. And Spurs have been a decent side. So Spurs to win, that's the banker. £5 returns, £12 there. And then the longest shot is again £5 on that one. That returns 27.50. So it's coming in just under 5-1. And that is again Brighton and Chelsea, both teams to score. Done the exact same thing as you, sorted by both teams to score. And this was the second game on there in English football this weekend. So very high percentage. I don't think Brighton have kept a clean sheet all season. And both these teams average over 1.5 xG against per game. So I expect goals in that one. Then I've gone for a bit of a vibes pick, which is Mbermo goal or assist against Brentford. He's got the highest XG. Man United have got the highest XG out of any team in the Premier League this season. And Mbermo himself is the biggest XG plus XA underperformer, which in simple terms means he should have had more than he's got so far. I think Mbermo will definitely do something in this game. And then finally, I've gone with Arsenal double chance under 4 goals in their game away at Newcastle for reasons we already discussed. Think it'll be an absolute stinker of a game, but I think Arsenal will grind out at least a draw. And as I say, that one comes in just under 5-1. Arsenal double chance is 72% according to the AI. So I know Newcastle are the bogey team, but I just look at this and think it's a weaker Newcastle side than we've seen in the last few years.
No, I hope you're right with that as an Arsenal fan. But as usual, they're all very sensible picks there, Ollie. And I'll just, for your
What
sake, I hope they come through.
Can I ask one question? What do we think about the Brian and Burmo pick? Because I get it that like he's not exactly set the world alight so far in terms of goals and assists, but there's definitely something to be said, in my opinion, for playing at the stadium where he played so well and playing for United side at the moment that are creating chances. There's no doubt about it.
And as someone that watches United every week, Mbermo is always the best player.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's the one that looks threatening. Saw that volley against City, which was an unbelievable
Yeah.
strike. He's unlucky to not get a goal there. I don't think the XG underperformance is because he's playing badly or finishing
Yeah.
badly. I think it's more, it's like looking at it, balances out over a season. there's a kind of danger where if it goes on too long, then it could get in his head.
Yeah.
But it's not gone long enough for that yet. So I
No.
think at some point it's going to start turning into goals and assists.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I
Is
mean,
it goal or assist, or is it just goal?
goal and assist, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said off camera before, there's no other keeper in the world that saves that Mbeumo volley that Donnarumma saved. I
No.
mean, it was just an outrageous save.
It's just too big.
It was ridiculous. So I think Mbeumo's a player to watch over the next few weeks, and the fact he plays his old club is definitely something I need to target this weekend.
Also, by the way, for the Arsenal pick, I didn't realise you'd gone double chance Arsenal. Newcastle have won 1 game in the last 10. Wait, it could be worse, actually.
Well, you've got
Oh my
you've got
God.
pre-season friendlies on there.
Including pre-season friendlies.
You can't
Newcastle
include
have won
pre-season friendlies
2
in a
games
stat.
in the last 15. The
Cut out-
Geordie boys are in the mud.
Cut out the pre-season friendlies.
Oh my
and
God.
do it going back to last
Newcastle are
season.
just awful, man.
You can't include pre-season friendlies. in
Nah,
this
they don't
round,
count.
sorry.
Mate, if I'm Jake Humphries, I'm never having Eddie Howe on again. All right, they've had 1 win in 6 this season.
Yeah, that stinks. And also, if you go back to last season,
And guess who that was against? Wolves, the worst team in the Prem. Up the Spurs, they'll be beating them this weekend as well. And I'll be caking it. And I'll be literally in the profit, boys. You're minus £26 now. You're absolutely hemorrhaging dough every week.
I was top of the league a week ago.
Yeah. One day you're the cock of the walk, the next you're a feather duster. It's looking dusty. Can I just say one thing I've just remembered? Maybe I can signpost this differently. But one other shout out I've got for someone messaging us this week. Look at this from the Discord. This is one of the best messages I've ever seen. So, as you're aware, with the tips to package your numbers game, it goes all sports, right? And anyway, they've put one on involving Luke Humphries. And he sent him a picture of the bet builder where he's got Luke Humphries to win. At most 180 is Luke Humphries. He's put a £5 on it, returns £71. He's messaged Luke Humphries and put, "I hate you, mate," with a screenshot. And Luke Humphries has replied saying, "What, over 71 quid?"
That is absolutely amazing.
Right. Also, boys, I'm going to have to take this call because it's the MOT and they're probably going to tell me my whip is ruined.
Already. Is it all right? Is it passed?
With nothing, not a scratch on it.
How's that even possible? What backhander did you give him?
As a tail light. People have thought I've won a bet. No, the van's passed its MOT. Come on! I can't stop winning, can I?
So like Trump.
On to my bets this week, though, and I've gone very, very rogue. So I think you guys will really like this because usually I'm the conservative scumbag better, but I just couldn't find a scumbag bet, so I just went all in using the algorithm, of course. So my least risky bet, which comes at a 5.42 to 1. Putting £3 on this to get £19 return. So Manchester City and Tottenham to win, that's quite scumbaggy, that's quite easy. But then I'm going double chance with Everton, Fulham, and Crystal Palace. Now, the last one now I think is going to turn a lot of heads. Everton, I think, against West Ham, we don't need to explain too much. Fulham, I think, can get an upset there against Aston Villa because Aston Villa have been absolutely atrocious this season. And in Crystal Palace, they're unbeaten. They're at home. People are going on about this Liverpool team. They're going to be the team that are going to stop Liverpool. They are the team that are going to take points off them this season. I'm putting my, 100% backing behind that. This can be clipped. This can be one of those scenarios where it will come back to haunt me. But I fully am backing the Palace boys there. And I think if anything's going to let me down, it'll be something else in that bet. But Crystal Palace, they're going to do it. And the algorithm's against it. I know this is one of the rare opportunities where I'm going to go against the algorithm, but CPFC at Selhurst Park, they rarely get done by these big teams. So what do you think on bet 1 there, boys?
Well, I think backing against this Liverpool side that are in that run of the champions going where they play badly and win games is very, very bold. But at the same time, Crystal Palace on a generational run themselves. What is it, 17 games unbeaten?
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I can't fault that at all. I think we were saying actually off camera, West Ham are about to sack Graham Potter. The players are pretty much down tools, we reckon, at this point. Fulham, to get a result at Villa, I don't think that's too much to ask at all. Algorithm gives it a 55% chance. City and Tottenham just speak for themselves. I mean, Everton is Everton.
Crystal Palace he's got against Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I'm all over that. I might stick.
Can
The
tell,
Warner
can
on that.
tell I've sat next to a United fan and speaking to an Arsenal fan here, can't you?
Well,
But,
the other thing is, who are the only team that have beaten Liverpool this season? Crystal Palace,
yeah,
obviously
that's
on
true.
penalties
That's
in the
true.
Community Shield, but they had them absolutely licked. I think
Yeah,
this
and
is
it's
a bold
true. And
one.
also no Ekatike, which I think is actually quite a big deal because there's no evidence yet that Isak's even fit, never mind
Does the
integrating
red
into the
card for
team.
the FL Cup not go to the Prem now?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Oh, you were saying he is missing.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
missing.
sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Sorry, I
Ekatike's missing,
interrupted that
yeah.
then, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which
Well,
was the stupidest red card ever, by
I
the way.
know.
What a
Um,
dickhead. Taking his top off in the EFL Cup round
Holding it up like
3,
Messi.
mate.
I like it, though. Why not?
What a whopper,
I'd be
mate.
annoyed if he played for United and did that, to be fair, but it's funny to see for
It's
another club doing it.
embarrassing as hell, mate. What the fuck?
Can I just say, though, as well, don't let Ollie deter you, Jason, because this guy couldn't pick his nose.
This guy was top of the league a calendar week ago.
Well, bet two. This one will probably shock you because I'm going with a very stinky game here. So, Ollie, I'm going even worse than you with the less than 4. I'm going with Newcastle Arsenal, less than 2.5 goals.
Yes.
I just see it being an absolute snore fest. It's going to be a really awful game to watch, and I'm not looking forward to watching that at the weekend. A huge one again, and I got this right last time. It hurts me to say this, but Tottenham to win 2-0 again. I
You
just
love
think,
Spurs, Jason.
you know what? I'm spending too much time around Spurs fans at the gym. They're indoctrinating me. It's
Yeah,
propaganda.
you told me that you didn't think Arsenal were going to win. You're backing Spurs to win 2-0. I
Ooh.
love the character development of the picks, though. I feel like your
I'm even
picks are
wearing
just getting
white.
better and better.
I'm even wearing lily white today. That's
Oh my
that's
Christ.
You'll be getting
filthy.
circumcised next.
That's not got to make the cut.
No.
Well, literally the cut.
Yeah. That's getting snipped.
So Tottenham to win 2-0. I'm going to add on to what you guys have said already about Wolves. The Wolves bashing here. Wolves have the 3rd lowest shot conversion rate in the Premier League so far this season and the 5th lowest non-penalty XG per shot. They're just absolutely awful. Adding to that, Strand Larsen, who's probably their only good kind of attacking player, he's in and out of fitness. He's a bit like Isak. We just don't know where he is at the moment, whether he's going to be any good at all. I don't think that Wolves attack is going to trouble Tottenham at all, especially because they're at home as well. And in Chelsea versus Brighton, this one, both teams to score 56% likelihood on the algorithm. £4 on this, 6.07 to 1 would return £28.28. And again, I don't think it's too risky. You know, we're getting good odds there on things that I think are very likely to happen. Maybe the least likely is Tottenham to win 2-0, but the others, I'm quite confident in those ones. Any bad picks there, guys?
Honestly, Jason, I love it. Like I say, the character development from the picks you were making at the start to now and using the website regularly, I think has helped you out. Because these picks now, you're climbing up the table and I can't disagree with them ahead of
Well,
time.
I'd say the only one that I would point out that is probably slightly riskier than the others, or something worth noting, is that let me say that again.
Don't listen to Ollie, he's bottom of the league. Anyway.
The only thing that I would point out is that I do think Spurs have overperformed defensively this season, and I think the numbers back that up. I think they've had 3 clean sheets so far, when I think they'd only be expected to have 1. So, but then they are playing Wolves,
Yeah,
who
Wolves
have
have got the
been
tism.
abysmal. So yeah, I like the pick, Jason. I'm looking at it trying to critique something, and I can't find very much.
So my 3rd bet is backed by the algorithm. Once again, just, you know, it makes it so much easier. As you were saying there, Sam, I'm thinking I'm making a lot wiser bets on this. So both teams to score, Brentford versus Man United, Leeds versus Bournemouth. That one is just really backed up by the data. Then again, I'm going back to that CPFC game against Liverpool, under 2.5 goals there and under 2.5 goals Aston Villa versus Fulham. £3 on that, 9.96 to 1. That returns 29.88. Now, reasoning for the 2.5 or less goals with CPFC versus Fulham, both been strong defences, but obviously Crystal Palace have just been absolutely shutting out teams left, right and centre, and that's why they've been on their huge unbeaten run. And then Aston Villa and Fulham are both teams that just fail to score. They're just really poor in attack. So both of them, it's more that there's going to be a lack of attack rather than really strong defences there. But again, I think Aston Villa, you know, you've been talking about the West Ham players maybe downing tools, but another team in Claret, Aston Villa, I think they just don't like Unai Emery anymore. He
Mm.
called the players lazy last week, and I think that they just weren't really bothered. They're not loving the Unai Emery effect, and yeah, it's probably come to an end for him as well. So Aston Villa versus Fulham. What do you guys think on that one?
I have an issue with this one, I can't lie. First of all,
Yeah.
backing against Liverpool so heavily and thinking under 3 goals, that means you think Crystal Palace is going to be 1-0 to Palace or 1-1 across these two bets, which is wild against the champions with all the firepower that they have. And the other one that I'd think as well is
They've not
Leeds
generated
versus
much
Bournemouth.
XG though, have they? They've not like it's not like they're
No,
creating abundance of chances across this season,
no, they
but they
haven't.
end up scoring anyway. So it's
Yeah,
a difficult
exactly.
one to
I mean,
predict.
they've been scoring goals. Like they got 2 against
Mm.
Everton, 3 against Atletico Madrid, 4 against Bournemouth. They've not looked brilliant, but they've been having their moments. And then the other one is Leeds Bournemouth. I am sick of backing against Bournemouth, man. In any world, like they get rid of all their defenders, they come in and they just keep
Yeah,
clean sheets. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and then I'll shut my mouth. Calvert-Lewin is not the man for me. I know he scored last week, but Leeds need more firepower if they're going to make a fist of it. And I think
you're just
Bournemouth have just got too
transphobic.
much. He wears knickers and bras, our striker.
I like Calvert-Lewin. I hope he does well, and I think the contract has probably incentivized him as well. I'd imagine. I don't know anything about the contract, but if you're smart, you're not giving him a contract that's not heavily incentivized by
Yeah,
appearances and goals. How woke is it Europa League on a Wednesday night as well, by the way?
I know.
Champions League on a Thursday was bad enough, but you can't just give anyone Wednesday night under the lights.
I know. I agree.
Like,
Should be Thursday night, Channel 5.
that was
shouldn't
one of the
it?
best things about it, was that you go, yeah, see you on Channel 5,
Yeah.
mate.
And also, it felt like a disadvantage because
The
obviously
weekend,
close to the
yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Anyway.
think you're totally right there. You should punish the teams for being in the Europa League
Yeah.
and the Conference League. Although
Have them play Saturday morning in
the early
Trabzonspor and all
kickoff.
these weird places in Kazakhstan.
Well, that's all my bets for this week. Is there anything that you guys wanted to add, or we can wrap it up?
I'd just like to
our
say, Jason, that you are going to print money this week.
Oh,
Let me
thank
tell
you
you
very much.
now. He's going to
Me
storm
and
into the lead, the boy.
Wrap it up. I'm going back to top of the league, and that's it. I'm the
And,
only one. My controversial take, my hot take is I'll be the only one to land a bet this weekend.
don't believe it. But you can follow along with our picks in the Google Sheets that we keep in the description. But for now, I'm going to wish everybody the best of luck. Head over to the Numbers Game website for that free membership for the Premier League, but also there's some cheap memberships for the top 5 leagues in Europe and also for Champions League as well. You can win your money back, like we've said at the start of the show. But for now, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and comment below whether you agree or disagree with our picks. Cheerio.